All right, guys. So day 26, I watched The Amusement Park, which is the long lost film of George A. Romero, and it's one that was brought out in 2019 with a new 4K transfer. It was found, I think, a couple years ago, but it is a movie from 1973 about, you guessed it, an amusement park. But it's weird to see this one because this is a George Romero movie that I had not heard of. Again, because it was really lost to time. Like, unless you knew all of his filmography, and I haven't seen all of his filmography. Like George Romero, of course, I've seen the obvious ones, but I did not know about this one at all until it premiered on Shutter. Which I'm so thankful that Shutter has so many great things like this that they put onto the streaming platform, because it is truly one of my favorite streaming platforms overall. Um, and it starts out, it's a weird plot because it starts out with this guy talking about this white room and how this old man goes into this white room, and then the old man leaves the white room, is in an amusement park, and gets neglected and treated bad while other old people get treated bad in this amusement park. um, Showing this old man from the going from the white room outwards to try to see what is out there. It's very weird. Like, it's a very interesting, weird movie. Like, I thought, no matter what I thought about the movie, I thought it was interesting, but I think it's very strange. And also, I didn't expect this because I thought the acting was good, but they said at the beginning, like, none of these people are real actors. They're just people that brought up, like, in this amusement park. And I was like, that's really interesting. I like that because the acting I thought was good. I thought it was fine. But the only problem I have with this movie, for me, is that it's so weird because it is a horror movie that I looked up the reviews for it. I heard people say it's great. I've heard people say it's middle of the road. Um, I really thought this was middle of the road, honestly. Like, I thought that the idea was interesting, but the movie just came off kind of hokey, and it didn't come off hokey in a way where it was like, oh, this is memorable hokey. It just felt like an idea and premise that I thought was interesting, but I never fully got invested into the movie. Like, I watched this movie and I'm like, man, these old people are getting bad things happen to them. Like, bad things are happening to them. They're treated bad. They're treated unfairly. There's a scene where there's bumper cars, and this old lady bumps into another guy in a bumper car, and she's got a husband, and one of the guys says to the husband, like, you can't drive anymore. You don't. Your eyesight is too bad. That kind of stuff. It's just basically a lot of that, where, like, old people do stuff, and then people are like, no, you can't do that anymore. And it's weird because I feel like a lot of people said on reviews, like, this was really creepy, really scary, and I thought that this one wasn't really scary or creepy, but I feel like it was a little unsettling in a way because it is just showing how does treat old people, and how the idea of, you, whenever you get old, you could kind of lose your mind a little bit, and that to me is the premise I like, but I just felt like I never was fully interested throughout. Like, I just really, there's not that much else to say about it. I will say, like I said, the positives: the acting's good. I think the premise is good. Um, I like the beginning and end, how it bookended. I won't really say what. I kind of already did, but I won't really say it again. But I like those three things about it. I thought that the things I didn't really like about it that much was that it just felt kind of hokey in a way where it wasn't very memorable. Like, the idea is kind of memorable. I do like the idea, but I never thought it was that, like, I was never invested watching it. I thought it was just whatever. But also, I've seen a lot of George Romero movies, like the big ones, like I said, the Living Dead ones, that I love and like a lot. And this one, it definitely has its place because I did like the idea of it. I just didn't love the movie, and I think that also it's great that no matter what I thought of the movie, that it was released and was found, since it's a 1973 movie that was basically, like, erased from existence for a while, and they finally found it and released it. So even though I didn't love the movie, I thought it was just okay. I still am glad I saw it, and I'm glad that it was released, and I'm glad that people love it. There's some people who love the movie or like it. I just was whatever about it. I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it, but I'm really just think it's middle of the road. Like the premise is good, everything else is just whatever. Little hokey in a way where I didn't enjoy that about it. But I mean, it's an idea that every human being in the world has to eventually deal with. But it just, I don't know, like it feels a little, it feels dated, and I hate to use that word dated because there's so many movies I love from any decade of film, but this one just, it does feel kind of, it definitely does feel kind of dated with some of the stuff they say and do, and it just, it's weird. I don't know. Like I didn't love it, but like I said, I didn't hate it. It was just whatever, middle of the road. Not a bad movie, but I'm glad I saw it. So that's it for day 26, the amusement park. Again, glad I finally got to see it on Shutter. Go watch it. Definitely see what you think about it. But that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.